Hello guys, today's topic is cell injury. So first of all, what is cell injury? Cell injury is basically a injury to any cell that will disrupt its physical functions, like it won't be able physiological functions, it won't be able to perform its physiological functions properly. And so basically, how does it happen? It happens due to four causes basically. The first cause is infection. It can be due to any sort of infection, and the second cause is of physical trauma, like any physical change that can that can put an injury to the cell, that can put an injury to the cell, or that can harm the cell, and that will disrupt its physiological functions. And physical maybe of can be of due to temperature, due to increase of temperature and decrease of temperature. Both increase of temperature can cause burns, and decrease can cause decrease of temperature can cause frostbite. And uh, and the third cause, first cause is infection due to an infection, and second cause is any physical change, and the third cause is genetic factors that can influence any cell. And apart from that, the fourth cause is chemicals, any exposure to any chemicals that can affect the cell. And so basically, these are the four main causes of cell injury. Now we're going to move to a very important topic regarding in the cell injury, that is hypoxia. So what is hypoxia? Hypoxia is the most common cause that cause cell injury. So it is the most common cause that cause cell injury. And then hypoxia is basically a decrease of O2. So what will happen? First of all, there will be decrease in O2 that will disrupt the functions of mitochondria. And when the mitochondria disrupts, there will be decrease in ATP. And decrease in ATP will affect the physiology of the cell. Okay, so these are the basics. And decrease of ATP will lead to cell death and cell injury and anything. So basically, this is like this. Decrease of O2 will lead to disruption of mitochondria, that will cause in the function of mitochondria, that will cause decrease in ATP, and that will lead to ultimately cell death or cell injury or cell trauma, anything like that, that will disrupt the physiological function of the cell. And okay, so this is hypoxia basically. So hypoxia can be of four types. To remember hypoxia, there is a very quick and simple trick. Just imagine this is a car. The car is going to the so just imagine this is a car carrying some transportation, like any goods or services, to the factory. So this is the factory. So basically what will happen, this is a car that is moving to the factory. So just imagine the goods that it is providing to the factory is O2. So O2 is the good, car is RBC, red blood cells, and it is traveling through the body to the functioning cell. So this is the factory. So so in hypoxia, there is a major decrease in O2. So this is the main reason. Hypoxia as itself means, hypo means decrease, in oxia, that means oxygen is decreased. So basically what we're going to see here is the decrease of O2, and the decrease of O2 in body. So that will affect the cell. So first of all, just imagine these goods. So first problem that can occur in this transportation to the cell or the factory that is here is the O2 get disrupted. Like the O2 has some issues. Like the goods that we are making it to travel there have some issues. Like it is not of good quality or something like this. So that means the O2 is defected. So that means it is not issue is in O2. So that means there is decrease of oxygen. So because on the basis of that, we can have our first type, that is hypoxia. That means there is decrease of O2 in this, simply because there is lack of oxygen that can occur in high altitudes, and that can occur in disease like COPD, that will disrupt the intake of oxygen through lungs. And the second cause can be in this truck that is used that is being used to travel the goods to the factory. So the truck is basically an RBC, or when the issue occurs in RBC, so that means that is a sort of an anemia, this decrease of RBC. So anemic hypoxia. So this can, you can identify this can easily occur in anemia, or some you can say some issues with the RBCs that is seen as MET HB, hemoglobin issues. You can see in both of these cases. And apart from that, when the truck is traveling, just imagine there's a toll plaza here, and that is not letting the truck to travel to the factory where it is required to go. So this toll plaza is stopping the truck, so that means this toll plaza is causing some obstruction in the way. And so this type of obstruction, when it occurs while transporting the oxygen to the factory, is called stagnant hypoxia. So stagnant hypoxia is occur when there is some disruption in the traveling of RBC to the cell. So that can occur through two causes, like congestion. You can see this in congestion, and the second thing is stagnant hypoxia congestion, and we can see it in ischemia. Two causes in which we can see this. And apart from that, the fourth cause is like if the factory has been broken or something like that happen. So that means that the cell that is about to receive the RBC is having some issues. So that can happen in that. So that type of case, the fourth type of hypoxia, is called as histotoxic hypoxia. So that fourth type of is called as histotoxic hypoxia. And in histotoxic hypoxia can be due to cyanide poisoning. So those were the basics, and now we're going to move to the second part of the video, in which we're going to discuss okay, let's move to the second part of the video, that is we'll discuss reversible cell injuries in this. And so how reversible cell injuries occur is, first of all, again there is decrease of oxygen. There will be a decrease of oxygen that will disrupt the functions of mitochondria again, and the mitochondria functions will be disrupted. That will decrease the amount of ATP, and the decreased ATP will lead to three effects on the cell, three reversible effects on the cell, not irreversible, reversible effects on the cell. First effect is we're going to see on cell membrane. First effect we'll see in cell membrane. Second effect regarding reversible cell injuries is we're going to see on endoplasmic reticulum. And third is like miscellaneous changes that we're gonna see. So what will happen in cell membrane? First of all, in cell membrane, due to decrease of, first of all, there will be decrease of oxygen, and that decrease of oxygen will lead to decrease of ATP again, and that decrease of ATP will disrupt the function of sodium potassium channel. Sodium potassium channel will not work. That will lead to filling of H2O in the cell. So H2O will got filled up within the cell, and in this case we're gonna see due to the filling of the H2O, we're gonna see cell swelling. That is a very important thing regarding regarding cell membrane. This is quite important. And apart from this, we're gonna see blood formation in this. And apart from blood formation, we're going to see one more phenomenon here, that is myelin fragments. Myelin fragments. So in myelin fragments, what are myelin fragments? Myelin fragments are just basically phospholipids made of cell membrane. So it's basically that. So important factor is this, we're going to see cell swelling in cell membrane because of the filling of H2O in the water. So there's an increase of size of the cell, increase in the size of the cell in reversible cell injuries. We're going to see, and the second thing we're going to see, due to the decrease of ATP in endoplasmic reticulum, basically most commonly RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum, is due to decrease of ATP. These endoplasmic reticulum will get affected and will stop working because of a decrease of ATP. So what will happen? There will be ribosomes that will break out. into the cell. So if endoplasmic reticulum is not working properly, so what will happen? There will be, as it helps in production of protein. So there will be two things we're gonna see, that's affecting the proteins of the cell. Is first thing is decrease in protein formation, and second thing, look, there is decrease of protein formation, and the second thing is misfolded proteins accumulation. This. So basically we're gonna say first in cell membrane, then second in endoplasmic reticulum. As endoplasmic reticulum is getting affected in reversible cell injury, so and it also helps in the formation of protein. So we're gonna see two changes in the protein in the cell, two changes according to the protein in cell, that is decreased formation and misfolded, like the misfolded protein accumulation, like it is like first decrease and second like irregular, broken, like it is bad types of protein, like unstructured, the structure of like misfolded proteins, you can say. So we're gonna see decrease in protein formation and misfolded protein accumulation in this. And the third changes are miscellaneous changes, and in miscellaneous changes we're gonna see miscellaneous changes due to acidosis. And how does that acidosis occurs in this is decrease of O2 will lead to increase in glycolysis, and that glycolysis will increase lactate, and that lactate will cause increase in acidosis in the cell. So what will happen now? We're gonna see three miscellaneous changes, and first of all is in the nucleus. And in nucleus, what we're gonna see? We're gonna see clamping of chromatin. We're going to see clamping of chromatin. And secondly, we're going to see the second change in the miscellaneous is in liver. And liver, what we're going to see? We're going to see fat formation, or what you can call it, lipid droplets in microscope. You can see lipid droplets, and first in nucleus, second in liver, and third change is in mitochondria. Now I can put all of this. There will be mitochondria. That in mitochondria we're gonna see calcium increase, like calcium deposits we're gonna see. So this is what we're gonna see. What we are gonna see in reversible cell injuries. So reversible cell injuries. First thing, so it's gonna affect three types. It is gonna affect the cell membrane. It is gonna affect the endoplasmic reticulum, and it's going to have some miscellaneous changes in cell membrane. The important point is cell swelling. Cell swelling is very important. Black formation we're going to see, and we're going to see what myelin fragments. Those are basically phospholipids that is found inside the cell, broken phospholipids from the cell membrane that can be seen under the microscope in the form of myelin fragments. And secondly, we're going to see disruption of the function of endoplasmic reticulum that will lead to decrease in protein synthesis or misfolded protein accumulation. Like misfolded proteins, we're going to see proteins that are not properly formed. And apart from that, we're going to see miscellaneous changes. In miscellaneous changes, we're going to see three structures. In nucleus, we're going to see clamping of chromatin. In liver, we're going to see lipid formation under microscope, and third case in mitochondria, we're going to see accumulation of calcium. So basically this was it for the reversible, and we've discussed in this video, this is the and we've discussed the cell injury. In this video we've discussed hypoxia, we've discussed reversible cell injuries, and we've discussed the important causes that can cause cell injury. So this was the first part, and the second part we will discuss the irreversible cell injuries that include necrosis and apoptosis. So that's all. Thanks for watching.